broken wasteland. Come to my fire and place your blood and steel upon my pyre. Oh.
All right, metalheads, thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. With me is Jason Gardner from the Ale Horn. Dude, Jason, holy shit. I kind of put out a post earlier today, by the time we're recording this, that we were going to kind of talk about some stuff, because you are from North Carolina.
Yes.
And you are particularly in the Asheville region, who got massively fucking hit with Hurricane Helene.
Well, I am officially
Helene.
It's Helene, actually, bitch. I am officially in the heavy metal wasteland now, believe it or not.
Yes, you are. You are in the wasteland.
It is fucking destroyed here, man. Whatever you see on the news is a good glimpse, but you really can't be prepared till you like see it for yourself. It's pretty gnarly, man. It's like Katrina but on steroids, because New Orleans is flat and we had hills, which meant mudslides, trees coming down, power poles snap like toothpicks. Lines down everywhere. Water probably 12, 14 feet high on the buildings. People dying because they can't get out of their house.
Sure.
In really remote areas. There's one story about a grandparents were watching their grandson had to evacuate on the roof, and the fucking roof fell in. They all drowned. Stuff like that. There was an evac for a lady who gave birth in her bathtub, while it was going on, because they couldn't get to her and stuff. Helicopters fly over all the time during the daylight. It's like eerily quiet. I think Israel accidentally bombed us, if I had to be frank about it, because it looks like Palestine with McDonald's signs and shit. It's rough.
It does look
it's
pretty
really
rough. There was one place that I was seeing on some news outlet, and I can't remember which outlet it was or what the little town was actually called, but it was kind of like, it almost looked like a Twin Peaks-esque, like they had like an old school looking strip there, and just so much fucking mudslide happened. It was up to the eaves. It was covered up almost all the way to like these big, these 8-foot by 8-foot picture windows.
Yeah.
And it was just all the way through and just like mudded everything. It's so awful.
It could have been Lake Lore or Chimney Rock area, which is where Dirty Dancing was actually filmed. I know there's towns that are pretty much erased. Like all that remains is the zip code, kind of stuff, But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm like really lucky. We lost power for 3 days. Had internet access, on life support. You can plug in a battery and a AC inverter, and plug in your router, and you at least had internet. It never went out, but my power was out for 3 days. But dude, I mean, considering like what other people went through, like I am not complaining. Like if they took my power away now, it's like we gotta reroute it to other people. I would be like, cool, let me fill up my bathtub real quick, flush my toilet, and you can have it. That kind of thing. Because it's like almost like going out yesterday, man. It's like survivor's guilt, dude. Like there's people that like their house is just fucking gone. Like it's a fucking pile of rubble at the bottom of a mountain from a mudslide.
Sure.
I had a customer that I go work on his house, and his neighbor's house was the only thing left was a set of concrete steps. There was a mobile home that slid down a hill, took out that house, took out another house below it, pushed a car through his neighbor's house across the street. I sent you a picture of that, the Bronco through the garage and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll post some pictures. I'm gonna post some pictures
on Sorgy.
Yeah, I'm gonna post some pictures on the Flamekeeper page, like kind of like on the ground kind of stuff.
Sure.
Because people should really see like how bad it is. I know I've seen people on on the internet like making fun of the people around here not prepared and stuff. But dude, this wasn't forecast to be a major storm.
No, you can't prepare for that type of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying North Carolina was the only place hit. I think it's probably the worst of what I've seen. There's places in Tennessee that was really bad. Georgia got hit. Upstate South Carolina got hit. Even my wife's folks out on the coast in South Carolina lost power because of the storm. And of course, Florida with the epicenter, you know, North Florida and stuff.
Sure.
But for some reason, yeah, North Carolina, especially the Asheville area, got fucking hammered. And I know Tennessee out like toward Knoxville did, and I know you guys got a lot of rain off it too.
Oh yeah, it rained for 2.5 days here in Indiana and Kentucky. It started for early Friday morning and didn't stop until I was on. I noticed it mostly done when I was on my way home from ice house practice Sunday night.
Yeah,
and it was just a lot of rain. Sure, and I don't think there was near flooding or anything here like there of course is down there. And no, just seriously, you know, not to do the thoughts and prayers thing or anything, horns or whatever up for everybody, you know. I mean, if you know people who are there, check on them. Make sure that they can get their food and water if you can help out. Donate time. I know time and supplies are pretty much really what everybody needs. So. Well,
let me make a little PSA announcement here before we get on to the rest of the stuff. I don't want to dwell on the storm the whole time, but if you're wanting to donate stuff, check in with a shelter that and see what they need, because I know a lot of people are sending food and it's going bad before they can use it because they have so much. So really what the main concern is not even really drinking water so much, because there's like so much drinking water, because all the grocery stores, especially Ingles around here, just like empty their warehouse and just putting pallets out on the road and distributing. The potable water, like toilet water, or non-potable like toilet water is really needed. Baby formula is at a crisis. Underwear, even clothes. Soap, any hygiene products is really needed. Socks would be a really big item. Let's see what else. And yeah, man, like if you have someone missing, there is actually a Facebook page. I don't know the name of it. I mean, everyone now should be educated enough how to use a search for something on Google. But there's a Facebook page dedicated to like a lost and found for people. And they actually will send out volunteers to go to these addresses that people haven't heard from anybody and verify alive or dead. Last I heard, the body count was 180. Right. That's just from like the places they can get to, and there's like, I'm serious, like there's places that they probably won't be able to get to for at least a month or more, not even by helicopter. And let me just say how wild it is just watching all these private helicopters just flying around and shit, man. It's bizarre. I've never seen anything like it before, but yeah, there's a lot of private helicopters out there. I've only seen one military helicopter. So
it does. It makes you feel like it's the end of times, doesn't it?
Dude, it does. It's almost like my doom prepping needs to fucking step its game up. Like I will say that. Like, I mean, everyone was caught off guard because it was never forecast to be anything but like a really quick rain event. Because the thing is, like, it rained Wednesday night, it rained Thursday, soaked the ground. The Friday storm actually blew through in like 4 hours. Like, it was sunny at 2 o'clock, but my power went out at 9 in the throes of the storm. But by 2 o'clock, it was sunny. Why there hadn't been much more like military presence here, like sooner, I don't know. Like, it was clear skies at 2 o'clock. They should have, they could have mobilized by, Friday night, Saturday morning. But yeah, for some reason, I don't know why, but yeah, the government is kind of got in like a day late and a dollar short on some of this stuff, So, don't forget that.
I saw that. And that's something I want to point out too. Do not donate your money to any political party saying that they're helping.
God no. I'm talking not even Red Cross. They're political too. Like the CEOs make millions, and then you get what's fucking left after their fucking salary. Like find the GoFundMe's that means something to you more than the government agencies.
Well, not even that. I mean, because there's even some of these political parties out there that are creating GoFundMe's for this. Right. No, seriously, if you, I'm sure if you ask enough of your friends, you're gonna have friends who know people who are there and how they can help and how you can help.
Yeah.
So to this week's episode, we're going to go ahead and move on. Jason, glad everybody in your neck of the woods is okay with Temptations Wings and the
Yeah, we're all
family.
accounted for, and all our band friends are accounted for also. By the way,
Good
real
deal.
quick, the band Harsh Realm, they were on tour, lost all their shit, their house. Death metal band from here, so look them up, buy some merch. Also, the band Basque had a rental spot that flooded. They lost all their shit, had to cancel the
And
Europe tour.
Basque had to cancel the Europe.
Yeah,
Europe
and
tour
then
this week.
also our friends Weight Shift. I don't think they fared that bad, but they just put out a new single. If you want to go check it out on Outlaws of the Sun and their YouTube page.
Hell yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're donating some proceeds to some stuff, and hopefully two things I want to do is try to get onto I'm not organizing it, but try to get onto an organized benefit show. I'm sure there will be several coming up soon. And also, I've been thinking about the idea of doing a coffee table book of the pictures of some of the destruction, because even though it's bad, it's still fucking astonishing shit to look at.
It's history.
Yeah, it's historic. It's bad, trust me, but it's like the car wreck you can't not look at. There's so many pictures that are just like amazing, like moments in time that you'll never see again. Like I sent you one earlier, Mark, of just like an Airstream that got like fucking. It was next to a tree, and the fucking roots picked up the fucking front of it, and it's just like in the air at a 45-degree angle because a tree fell and picked the front up. Like
Sure.
just stuff like that, man. It's just wild stuff. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I know destruction's bad, but the thing is not to make a dollar off it, but to donate the money back to victims.
Yeah.
I mean, if Mother
And back
Nature,
to
if Mother Nature
Asheville
fucked them
and
that
wherever
bad,
else got hit. Yeah.
yeah, if Mother Nature fucked us that bad, at least we could do is just make some money off it to help people out, whether it's, just waiting for like FEMA payments, or even relocating or rebuilding, or or whatever. So yeah, I don't know, but the book idea I think is pretty cool. I'm sure I'm the only one
you
that thought
should
of
do
it.
that.
I'm sure I'm the only one that's thought of it, but I know you can self-publish on Amazon and just like sell it from Amazon, and you can keep like most of the proceeds and stuff. So yeah, I mean, the other thing is I don't know if they have like coffee table layout you can publish, but I mean, I'm sure somebody out there would have a lead on how to do that and make them at cost. So yeah, that's an idea I've had too. But yeah, and let's get on to some metal, because I know the world has been spinning outside of our little bubble here.
Well, I mean, it kind of has and it kind of hasn't for the United States. The United States, I think, has kind of stopped a little bit to see what's been going on with Asheville and the turmoil of the political season. It's we're 35-ish days away from the election and whatnot.
Yeah.
But no, what was interesting is there was a band last week that came out with a post about their new collection of songs and completely dropped the thing. They dropped the bomb, saying that the album cover was AI.
Oh yeah, I did read about this. Shit, man, so much has been happening. It's probably just like erased out my memory.
And honestly, so the band is Gravedigger. Okay, and recently just got picked up for 2 headline spots in festivals next year.
Yeah.
2 Minutes to Tulsa, which is cool. Kick-ass fest that's went on. I think this is the 3rd year for it.
Right.
And I believe they are going to be on Hell's Heroes also.
Yeah, 2 Minutes to Tulsa also has Mega Colossus and Tower Hill playing. So.
Yes, they do. But no, the point of this is the AI album cover. And I'm actually going to superimpose the picture of it on the screen here so we can see. It's called Bone Collector.
Right.
This will be done in post, Jason. It's a Grim Reaper with a bunch of tombstones and other skeletons and crows. I mean, it's totally done. Like, it looks like a shirt from Walmart. And I know the music is great, but like,
Right.
I mean, it seriously looks like the dude bought this shirt out of the metal section at Walmart about 12 years ago. I know because I've done that before, when that was a thing. So when it comes to that with AI creation now, I know what this is going to be. This has already been a hot button topic for people. But when a band like Pestilence and a band like Gravedigger and they start doing this, what does that leave us? I mean, is this something that we're all going to, are we just going to have to get over it, you think?
Man, I have like two thoughts about AI, man. Like, okay, so when I put in orders for like album covers or like ideas, like I'm almost doing the same exact thing. Like I am sending my idea to a prompt. That prompt just happens to be an artist, and he fucking runs with it and spits out what he interprets. AI is kind of the same thing, except you don't have to pay AI. Is the thing. You're taking a job away from somebody. Does it look cool? Yeah, a lot of shit actually does look really fucking cool. But I mean, like at the same time, it's like, well, my thing is like, if you're selling the product and you're good with it, and like, and people are good with it, then I guess go for it. But don't be acting like you helps. Like, don't be like crediting the AI like prompt as like in a credit. Like
Chat GPT. Thanks.
Yeah,
buddy.
Exactly. Like, it's like
thanks,
don't be
pal, for the album cover.
Exactly what I'm saying. But like I said, I mean, at the same time, if you're like consciously good enough, like just not hiring an artist to work, which we all know art is, they call it starving artists for a reason. Like, if I mean, you can have such a cooler concept because I'm sure an artist's imagination is like way more detailed and stuff, and you get a better product. But I mean, if you want to go the way AI and you're good with it and your fans don't give a fuck and you're happy with it, I guess go for it. All I can say. I mean, as long as you're not holding a gun to my head to make me use it, do whatever. I mean, just make sure you let people know that this is this album cover was AI generated. That's the only credit you need to give it, and let people decide, the free market decide on what they're going to accept.
Sure. Well, and I think
same with music, but the thing about music is you can always tell because the shit's way too perfect.
Yeah. And I think too, with like the AI thing of artwork, I don't know if it's the same. I mean, whether or not you're telling somebody like a David Paul Seymour or an Ed Repka or a Joe Pentagano or Pusshead or anybody like that, what you're interested in. Romano, yeah, exactly. Anybody for that matter. Halsey Cost. I don't necessarily look at that the same as giving them a prompt of saying, you want to work with somebody like that, but just like typing it into a thing like a Chat GPT and I'm stupid on all these AI things. The only thing, honestly, AI that I've done is auto lyric on the videos, and then I end up having to correct it because it hears it fucked up. It hears it like bathroom on the right.
That is the official lyric now, by the way. He has changed it. That's what he does in live shows now. Yeah.
I could see that, and I don't know. It's just like, I think it's going to be something that we're all going to have to, I think, get over because it's there. Now, whether or not you're using it to create your music or, then that's the other side of it. And I know there are bands that do that. Or bands, in quotes, that are
artists. Yeah. My thing is, like, if you went so far as to, like, use AI in your music, if you might as well just use it for your cover too, because the whole fucking project is a fucking joke to me.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is what you want. I mean, if you can live with it, good for you. I mean, if you tell people and they don't fucking buy it, then lesson learned, I guess,
But the thing too is this, and I want to like point out something. Maybe there's a reason for the AI deal. Maybe it's cost effective, obviously, because it's fucking free.
Yeah.
Or it's whatever the subscription rate is for your program.
Yeah.
$12.99 a month or what the fuck ever. But what the other fucked up thing is like, I think there are artists out there that are unintentionally forcing people to go a route of AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that for a couple of reasons. Good art is not cheap.
Nope, it's not.
And it shouldn't be. So I agree with that. But what I don't agree with is artists leaving people on hold and leaving people on hold. And saying, instead of telling issue, you know, and I think that pushes a lot of people to not want to deal with the quote headache of dealing with another person.
Right.
You know, for one, it's another mouth to feed in the scheme of things. But I'm not advocating for it. I think you should always use real art and real everything. But yeah, I think there's visual artists out there that unintentionally push people to use AI because they're a pain in the ass to work with.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's also this instant gratification of instantaneous results people want now. Like you hit a button, Netflix movie plays. You got the album art idea, you put it in the prompt, it shows up. It's like, hey, this is good. This is what I want. Throw it on a fucking Photoshop, add some fucking titles to it, whatever, you know. It's just like so. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I'll be honest, dude. I have some AI images downloaded that I'm probably gonna use for like placeholders when we start releasing our singles. It's not gonna be the album art. It's just gonna be something to put in the fucking thumbnail on fucking Bandcamp, just to, you know, have it there. But like the actual album isn't gonna be AI art. It's gonna be an actual artist. But for a placeholder right now, because I can't afford it to pay an artist like, you know, for like 4 releases for like 4 different pictures.
Sure.
If I can afford one that's gonna go on the album artwork, you know. So stuff like that. I mean, you know, it is what it is. As long as people know.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, but like I said, I mean, like I bought some images, like I bought like a whole pack of images for like $20. And it's like, okay, this would be cool for like this song. This might be cool for this song. Just to get the point across.
Could be cool
like,
for flyers. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Like flyers and stuff. But as far as like selling album art, like it's kind of shitty that you're got something for free and it's part of the package of the whole album, and then like part of it doesn't cost you anything. Like when I buy an album, I'm paying for the music, I'm paying for like the album art, I'm paying for like the layout if it's like pretty unique or whatever. Like it's all included in the cost. And when you start like just, you know, having shit that's free and you're charging
like
for it,
the miniature book version of Invisible Shield.
Yeah, like the one I bought from like Target. Yeah.
Yes. I definitely bought that one as well because it's a little book. It's like the Golden Book from back in the 80s, Golden Book Masters of the Universe. So I don't think I've mentioned our guest this week. It's Joe Grudge, who are playing on the Big Goddamn Metal Show. And we've got Josh and Coop. They're coming in. They're actually going to be in person here in the Metal Forge here in just a few minutes. But yeah, playing the Big Goddamn Metal Show with Lavaborn, Treason, Wind Rider, Idle Throne, Icehow, Midnight Hellion, Ulm, Sanhedrin, and Rat King. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I take that over fucking Louder Than Life any fucking day myself.
Well, yeah, which they ended up canceling the Friday.
I saw it. Hey, is it true that Magbar got some kind of Judas Priest promotion for some free tickets or something for the Sunday show?
Yes.
That's pretty cool, man. That's like a small time bar in relation.
Yeah,
it was
an autograph set list seek and find.
That's cool, man. Did you try to find it?
I did not go.
Oh, okay.
I did not go because it was like it was at 10 o'clock. I had to work, and the next morning, and they took a picture from across the corner,
right,
at the bar. So it's like the southeast corner,
yeah,
to the northwest corner of the street. And I kind of went into a local thing here. So when anybody tells you, well, what side of the street's it on? What in Louisville, a lot of times people over in Indiana will say it's on the southeast side of the street. So you know it's on that corner.
Right.
As opposed to, you know.
Yeah, if you told me that, I don't fucking know. I'm directionally challenged unless I have a.
Well, see, in Louisville, I don't know how Asheville is, but in Louisville,
right now it's fucking
our grid system is every other one way. and then like every two is like a two-way.
Okay, so you actually do like blocks that are like one way, basically around the town.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We don't really have too many one-way streets in the town. There's a few, mostly like alleys and stuff for deliveries, but yeah, there's not that many one-way streets. I can only name like maybe like 4 on top of my head.
Which I will actually tell you an interesting concept here is the movie Stripes was filmed in Louisville at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And Bill Murray's taxi cab is actually going the wrong way down a one-way street.
Yeah, you told me that before. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's like that's a little note that we locals know. But no, Joe Grudge, super awesome fucking dudes. Josh pulling double duty on the weekend. We've got 2 drummers playing multiple sets over the weekend.
Nice.
Kyle from Ice Owl is also playing with Lavaborn and Rat King.
Okay.
And Josh and Joe Grudge also plays with Olm. So, hell yeah. It's double duty drummer week here in the Metal Forge.
Well, good for them. Good for them.
So, honestly, be cool to each other. Kick ass. Check the links below for the Big Goddamn Metal Show pre-sale. Next week will be Free Warren, who is also playing the Big Goddamn Metal Show. I didn't mention them a minute ago. So they are actually debuting a new song on next week's episode as well.
Nice.
Jason,
kind of a parting word before we go.
Yes, you can.
Folks out there in the wasteland, literal wasteland now, if you see a looter, make sure you shoot them in the fucking leg. If they fall into water and drown, so be it. There is some of that going on now, and that's like the worst, man, when you're just like preying on, just breaking into people's houses that they can't get to and trying to look for valuables. So yeah, if you see a looter, shoot him in the leg to where he's incapacitated, and like I said, it falls in the water and drowns. Oh well.
That's on them.
That's it. Yeah, that's all I got to say about
fuck
it.
that shit, man.
Pretty much.
Fuck that. And you know what? I am so glad you did mention that, because I was gonna play this song anyway, and now it fucking even more is.
It works even better now, huh?
It works even better now. And shout out before we go, because there have been an fucking obscene amount of celebrity deaths in the last week too.
Oh yeah, man. I caught up. I seen Pete Rose died, and Chris Christopherson, better known as Whistler from Blade, in my book.
I know him as Chris Christopherson, writer of Me and Bobby McGee.
Yeah, that's good too. Yeah,
Highwayman Chris Christopherson.
There was a basketball player too. I can't remember who it was. Yeah,
and Ken Page, who did Oogie Boogie's voice.
Oh, okay.
He passed away, and Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose. Holy fucking shit, man. So
happened over the weekend.
Yeah, I know. Hell of a fucking weekend. So, as I said, this song makes so much more fucking sense now that, shoot a looter. This is Scumbag Nation.
That's a good one to go in.
Uh,
Mm.
all right, metalheads, we're being joined this week with a couple of the members of Joe Grudge. As you can see, this is a little bit of a weird episode because I am here and they are on the opposite side of the room in an in-person interview that you're getting like a couple of different angles here. So this is a first. You guys are guinea pigs today.
All right.
That'll work.
Cool. We'll try it out.
So we're sitting here with Mr. Josh Ritchie from the band Joe Grudge
Joe Grudge.
and the vocalist Coop. How are you, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
Josh, how are you?
I'm alive.
Hey, that's what it's about right there. That's for sure what it's about. So we were talking about horror movies a second ago, and we're just going to go straight into a segment here.
Yeah. All right.
So what is this movie that you said you were watching that you didn't get to finish before coming over to do this interview?
In a Violent Nature.
Which sounds totally like a movie that would be like, I don't know, like something old, like in the 70s, like at close range.
Right.
You know, something with like Christopher Walken in it or something.
Oh no, this is just
That sounds like a much better movie than I think the one he was watching.
Yeah, so
I'm
tell us
pretty
about
sure
this.
The guy who directed it, he's the one that pitched this for a Friday the 13th movie. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he did. So you basically have the camera following around Jason Voorhees the whole time, and that's basically how the movie feels, except it's a different guy they made up. You know, they got a backstory for the dude, and
So instead of
Big
it
girl
being his
minute.
perspective, like say the first one was.
yeah, it's not first person view. It's like you're playing like a video game almost, like you're walking them around. And
Oh shit.
So you're behind him almost the whole time.
Okay.
And there is a lot of him just lumbering through the woods, you know, just
Like
slowly walking.
It's the alternate angle,
Yeah,
right?
like he's just slowly walking through the woods, and like some people I talk to, they're like, "Oh, it was boring," and I'm like, well, I mean, I don't. He's not going to run. I'm sorry.
so it's all the cutting room film of Jason just lumbering around.
Yeah,
tripping over
lumbering
shit.
around, and you know, there's good kill scenes in it. The one that I caught before I came over, I was like, okay, that might be the one that a lot of people was like, it was pretty gross, but
Fuck it,
I've
right?
seen
I
enough horror
mean,
movies like it's really hard to shock me with anything. So
definitely.
I've even watched some of the ones that
That you probably shouldn't watch.
you don't want to watch and you would never revisit. You know, you're like, yeah, that was bad.
Like
what
Bambi.
Bambi was a rough one. I cried, man. That was a horror movie
for sure, for sure. No, in that realm of horror movie, what's a horror movie you don't want to revisit?
Oh, I think the one that comes up for most people is what Serbian film.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah,
that's
up
the
there.
one watcher.
Yeah, you don't need to watch that a second
Like
time.
what's that? Cannibal Holocaust? Or
Yeah.
Well, there's some of the even that one though didn't hit me. The
Human Centipede?
Human Centipede that's a classic. You know.
Yeah.
That's
good
just
stuff,
plain old
all
good
right?
fun.
Yeah,
Like-
that needs to be just anywhere on a Friday.
I don't.
Insert local dive bar.
Yeah, basically.
Wherever you're listening from, it
If
should
you're
happen in a dive
situation,
bar.
You want to be the front. Like I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a
like,
choice.
If you have a choice, you want to be the front of the. Human
Well,
Centipede.
unless that's your jam, maybe you want to be in the middle, you know.
I'm sure.
Hey, yeah, I mean,
both
some
ways.
people are there for both.
Yeah, that is
That's-
true.
Living their
That's how
best
it
life.
is. Definitely. So we're here this week to talk about Joe Grudge and the Big Goddamn Metal Show.
Big goddamn metal show.
Another Big Goddamn Metal Show, the second one. But before we get into it all, tell everyone out in Metal Forge Land about Joe Grudge. Because I remember seeing you all for the first time at Old Man Saul's bar mitzvah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, in his driveway.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
That would have
driveway
been
parties.
our very first time
Yeah.
we played.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
like,
y'all
yeah.
played with Chaos Pendulum and artwork.
Artwork.
And
That was the night that Saul threw his guitar behind him into the trees.
I think
That was
Eulogy might have
beautiful.
played that.
Eulogy, I
Yeah,
think,
Eulogy,
played that.
yeah.
Had played that.
Yeah, because everybody was asking because Overload hadn't done anything for a while, and they're like, where's everybody at? Is Mike gonna be here? Is Todd gonna?" And I was like, no, probably not. I think Mike might be here, but no, we're not playing anything. And
Yeah.
Oh no, Bastard Sons played that night. Too.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and
That's
that
right.
band Donnie was in at the time played too with Tyler Hill,
Oh yeah.
Chaos something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. Just to go on record, I'm super bad with like
With band names?
details,
Band names and
names.
Well,
stuff like-
in
like
all
I-
actuality,
I
how
think I've got
many
early
bands?
onset Alzheimer's. Like,
Well,
Drink a
no,
lot,
because
too.
it's the scene. That's the thing. How many like side projects have we all started up or had goofy names for side projects that we've
oh yeah.
either A, never got off the ground, or
Yeah.
A, had like a couple of practices.
It's been a handful of those.
There's been a handful.
Yeah, there's definitely been a handful.
We kind of, well, I kind of don't do those too often. Like, well, I say that, but there's probably been a good 5 or 6.
I mean,
I mean, I've been doing
you've
it a
definitely
long
done more
time,
than me.
so-
Like
There-
I took off from doing bands
there's
for
Chigger.
years. So
Yeah, but that, I mean, yeah, that's a goofy side
Chigger,
project.
Chigger is
There's-
honestly,
there is two,
and I love you guys. I love that band, but like it's almost like the revisiting a horror film.
Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes you don't. There's certain things you don't want to
it
revisit.
was in a violent nature from a first person point of view. You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
Jigger's not actually over, by the way. That it's like a
it's a
like
fungi.
a bad case of herpes. Like
Yeah.
You're just waiting for the
every
flare.
few years it flares up, and then there'll be an album and a couple shows.
that
and
could
then-
be a good case of herpes.
Yeah, and then it'll
Yeah.
crawl away like a cockroach, you know. But
It could
It-
return.
it was great, though.
that
there's
one's
always-
that's for fun and getting that kind of stuff out of our system.
Sure.
Most of those
Might be
come-
for a big goddamn metal show 3-peat.
Yeah, most of those
Maybe.
songs come from just sitting around shooting the shit and just coming up with stupid things. You
Oh,
know,
for
you say
sure.
Yeah,
whatever comes out of your mouth, and it's just dumb, and you're like, that'd be a great song title. So let's write a song around it. That's
Sure.
where
right.
That's where all that.
Well, and to be fair, you know, it almost reminds me of a band which we'll find on the carousel of pictures here coming up soon. Is Fudge Knuckle
Yeah.
does the same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which-
I
Which
was
they
a fan of Fudge Knuckle. There was,
Oh, of
there were some
course.
fun things going on. There.
Definitely.
well, yeah, they're
Lyrical
alumni
content
for the
was-
Metal Forge. They've been on here before.
Okay, yeah.
They did they did a cover of "Fuck the Middle East"
Oh, that's
from
a classic.
SOD.
Yeah, it's a classic
So,
tune.
That's so
I think I have it somewhere still. I need to kick it out. So talk about Joe Grudge. Tell us. Okay, so again, the first time I saw you, I was at Old Man Saul's bar mitzvah
And that was like
Ba-
5 years ago.
back in 2020 or
I
21.
wanted to say it was
It might.
6. Might have been
Oh,
6 years
I keep
ago.
thinking of like the beginning of the band, but yeah,
It was around when COVID started.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think it
so
was
yeah.
like right before, right after COVID started.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we had recorded yet or not.
I don't. I'm wanting to say it was 6 years ago. So I
Sure.
think 2018. Because
Wow.
I think
Yeah.
I think we did that, and then the first recording would have came out, but then COVID hit.
Ah,
So
okay.
we put our
So a long
first
time
album
ago.
out right when COVID hit,
Right.
and of course that went over amazingly.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
because
Couldn't
like
promote it. We couldn't
could-
play shows.
couldn't play shows.
We were show ready at that time.
Yeah,
Like,
we were
was
like ready
okay,
to
let's
hit it
go.
hard, you know, and it just big nothing burger.
Fizzled.
So that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And super soft release for that one.
And I totally hate that shit because it happened to so many people.
Oh, it happened to everybody.
Yeah, and it stunted a lot of the bands at that point because not only
Yeah.
did you have a release that you couldn't promote other than online,
Yeah.
then you had, you know, all the other stuff that happened that you would want to write. And then you'd have a backlog of more stuff that
Yeah.
you would just sit on, you know, and a lot of people that I know they're still facing, you know, it's like, do I still want to do this because there's so much stuff that I've got?
Well,
How do I gauge putting it out?
the thing that
Right.
happened too is by the
Is
time
it still going to be popular? Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
you
Right.
kind of put it like I mean, you know, obviously we still released ours, and a lot of other people did too. And you know, some people I've talked to, you know, other bands and musicians or whatever, like, well, they decided, well, no, we don't want to release it like that, so we're going to sit on it and ride it out. Well, then that ended up taking like
2 years.
year and a half, almost 2
almost 2
years,
years, yeah.
Yeah.
until things were normal again.
Yeah, about until
You
23.
know, and by then it's like, man, I mean, can you imagine having something done and just sitting on it for 2 years? And then, like you said, you're already writing new stuff and you got
Mhm.
something ready to go.
That was-
That was
That
a,
happened.
those
Is-
years of the Metal Forge in like 21, 22, 23. It was all that way. People were just crazily, they were writing stuff and they were basically waiting in line to put it
My
out.
chair's dripping.
Yeah. Oh, my.
The
By the
Lamb,
time you started playing shows,
yeah.
you were
Yeah.
already playing new songs.
Yeah,
and you were
two sets
tired-
worth of
Yeah,
material.
you were
Yeah,
tired of the old songs and didn't want to play
Yep.
those, and those were that's what you had out
Yeah,
on
and that's,
digital.
and that's what people
But that's what we
were
did.
expecting.
I think we were playing when we actually started really playing shows. We were playing one song that was on that first EP.
Yeah. Like we had already
we had
wrote
already
a whole
moved
new
past
thing.
them.
You know, we had lineup changes.
Yeah.
So yeah, to get back to Joe Grudge, we kind of started more or less as just a fun side project, you know, really
Sure.
with no sort of real intention on like doing anything
It was
too major, you
Kind
know.
of him getting me back up and going too.
Yeah, he hadn't done
'Cause I hadn't done
anything
anything for
in
years.
Sure.
years mostly because of his work shift, which was like second shift.
I was on third for like
Third,
12
yeah.
years of my life, and I finally had a shift change. And
So I
freaked me out.
basically I had some friends from way back in the day that were jamming and kind of you know, kept trying to get me to go over there, and I kept kind of like,
Stone was already jamming with him.
yeah, Stone was already over there, and I kind of kept going back and forth, like, you know, I wanted to do it, but it, you know, it's one of those deals where like you can only do so much, you only have so much time, and I don't want to let people down or involve myself in something that I can't really put forth the effort
Sure.
that needs to be there. So anyway, eventually decided, fuck it, I kind of want to do this. So he had finally gotten on a shift that would somewhat work, and I knew I wanted to work with him again because it'd been 10 years.
It had
or
been almost
something.
10 years
Yeah.
since we had done Great Flower. 'Cause
Yeah,
that was,
he hadn't done it fronted a band in like a decade or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so like
I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, I was during that time. I was actually performing with burlesque. Me and my wife were hosting the Baba Vixen shows
Okay.
at that time. So that's kind of where I was getting my creative in out, like doing that stuff. But I didn't have a band, and
yeah.
Awesome.
I wasn't searching for one. I kind of had that if I'm going to do one, I'm going to do it with him. So,
Sure. Then and yeah, because you want to, again, as you said a second ago, Josh, you know, you've only got so much time. You've only got it's all finite. You know,
Right.
there's you want to invest yourself in the things that you want to do, and yeah, and the people you want to work with.
And Ohm
Right.
would throw me a bone every once in a while, and I would go and do
Yeah.
a cover song with them.
Right
Yeah,
on.
he had done a bunch of off the wall covers with us with Owen. Whenever we needed a vocalist to do something, we'd be like, hey man, what are you doing? At this show, we're covering a David Bowie song. And
Nice.
we're
Yeah.
gonna need you to do that. Or, you know, Cry Little Sister from Lost Boys or whatever weird
But
cover.
one of
we
the only
picked.
people who's ever sang with Ohm.
Sure.
Yeah, we would call him. So I knew I wanted to work with him. So when his schedule freed up, and then I was already thinking about going over there and jamming with Stone and the other guys that were, you know, doing a thing. I just dragged him with me. I basically just said, hey, come over here and check this out with me. And because it was kind of if he does it with me, then let's go for it. And
Sure.
if he wasn't in, then I maybe would have not been in either, because it's hard to find a front man. I've already got a killer instrumental band. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Right. And obviously too, there for a long time, Ohm became the it was the band, and you all done quarterly shows and stuff like this. So when
Right.
Joe Grudge came up, it kind of itched that scratch to play out a little bit more.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but more or less like I love vocals.
Okay.
Like
Says the drummer of an
Oh,
instrumental
yes.
band,
Yeah,
the
but,
biggest
like-
instrumental band in Louisville history.
like
Nate's the one that hates vocals.
all of you know, every song, like if you go through your top 20 song list, I guarantee none of them are instrumental. You know what I mean? Like it's all going to be there's vocals, there's lyrics, there's somebody singing, and I love that kind of stuff. If I wasn't a drummer, I would be.
No, I could honestly say that I could possibly have something like Orion or Call of Cthulhu in the top 20.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I can
top
see, I
20.
can see that, but it's you see where I'm going with
To
this.
live is to
Anyway,
die.
that was
Just name
well,
all
that
the
has
ones
lyrics
were
in it.
It does.
To Live is to Die has lyrics,
that was an itch.
but definitely not Anesthesia.
No.
I mean, I like Anesthesia, but not
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Not for, no.
So
No,
I
get what
had
you're
that
saying,
itch
though.
where like I like vocals, I like writing lyrics, I like working with a vocalist, I like working with him. So I had been wanting a band with a frontman to get that outlet. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And so
Because sometimes you like to sing along while you're playing drums.
sure.
I see those drummers that are back here mouthing it as they're doing
It's
it.
just a different feel.
It's just a different,
Sure.
different
Yeah,
feel,
it's a whole
you know,
different
like the
thing.
writing process is totally different. So anyway, that's kind of, we started the band in a basement, and it just kind of started as a bunch of guys who had been friends for a very long time or had known each other for a long time and hadn't really been maybe connected for a while. And we wrote up some songs, and you know, we basically figured we'll put a recording out, we'll play a few shows, we'll try to have fun with this. Like it should be fun.
Sure.
We don't want to
Yeah.
do something that's like stressing everybody out. Which we've definitely had time periods where that's happened, because as you know, that just kind of
It happened. It's
Just
part
kinda
of the
happens with
course.
the band, but like, you know, I definitely pushed to, you know, I'm here to just have fun with this, you know,
Sure.
or at least try to. But we all get moody here and there, and we're assholes. So
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
sometimes that Wednesday is not the best day to
Yeah.
practice.
or the Monday.
or the Monday.
I was a real prick a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, nice. Yeah.
And I'll own it. Like,
That was last week. He was just a grumpy cunt.
Yeah. And he told me that, you know, when he was leaving.
It's like, he's a
And
real
I'm
grumpy
like,
cunt.
but we're all close enough that we can talk to each other like that, and we don't really.
Well, yeah.
We never take anything
Gets
personal.
nobody's getting their feelings hurt
Yeah.
because
No.
you've been in and out of bands with each other probably for the better part of 30 to
Yeah.
some people involved close to 40 years. I would
maybe
say-
not
We're
that long.
We're not
but
quite that long, but 20 years, easy.
yeah, me and Stone, I think, started jamming in like 96. And then me and Nate about 96.
28
97.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we started working together in 05, I think. For Great
Yeah.
Flower, I think was 05.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So
what
that's
year that
been
was.
20 years too.
Yeah.
The only guy
That
in
was
the
a fun
band.
project.
I was in a band
That's-
called Full Tilt at that point.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we played shows at like the Beechwood Park Shelter
Oh,
House
dude.
and Lake
Scottsburg,
Iola in
yeah.
Scottsburg.
Yeah,
Yes,
oh yeah.
they still have shows up there.
They do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do them at Celebration Hall now up
Yeah.
there.
Man, some of those Beechwood Park shows, like Anna Kathir used to play those.
Yeah,
and
we're off the
there
fucking
were
hook.
good lineups, and like the park would be packed.
Oh
It
sure,
was like good shows, like 200-300 kids there.
yeah.
And
See,
it's
I
like,
remember
the first
those
one we
days.
did, we were like, I don't know what we're doing playing this, and then we get there and we're like, holy shit, this is legit. Like,
Sure.
this is a good time.
Yeah, it was. And I still speak fondly of those days and those shows when, we didn't have bars and shit. Yeah, when we got into a bar and could
Yeah.
play a bar, it was something,
Yeah.
it was like a special fucking occasion. And it was almost like in turn that most of our friends just couldn't go to that show because a lot of them weren't 21 at the time.
Right.
In those days, or we're just then turning 21 kind of shit.
Yeah.
back then.
Now
And
I'm looking for all age venues. Like you want the kids,
yeah,
you know what I mean? You want
because
the young
there's no new
audience
fucking
there.
40-year-olds
Like, no,
discovering bands in bars.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
well,
they're
most of us
discovering them on
barely even make
fucking
it to
the
shows. It's
internet,
like,
which that is something that, which I'm sorry to say, if you need me to blur you out of this, this will be broadcast through the internets, Josh. I know you're no social media guy
No social media.
at all. And I commend you for that because I gave up social media for like 5 years.
I think you should blur his face for this whole episode.
Yeah.
It would be really
That would be some
Just
funny
the-
just a blur.
yeah, the
Can you
pixelization.
put the voice thing
Yeah.
on him too? Like he's
Please, please, dude.
Well, if I do that,
I'm
it's
an
going to
FBI
affect.
informant, you know?
The unfortunate thing is we're daisy chained on a mic, so because we have the two like
Yeah,
mics.
man, we should have thought about this beforehand.
Yeah, I'm no, I can't.
Well, I was joking around because originally I wasn't going to come in and do this. It was going to be one of the other guys. And I kept joking around with him. I was like, I'm not to be mentioned. Like, not by name. Like you call me, like there, you call me the drummer.
The drum.
The drummer. He is the drummer.
Just for something stupid, but
Oh, for sure. No, I get it. So
I was hoping he didn't come. I was going to talk about how he was getting rid of him.
Oh shit.
Be
Well,
like,
see, if that
see,
were the case, we would have had
Joe
to
showed
have
up,
brutal
Grudge
show.
did not make it. They're out. You know,
wait, are you Joe and I'm Grudge?
I guess so.
Must
I'll
be.
take it.
You was my
So who is Joe Grudge? Because you always get those people.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
Yeah,
you know Judas
yeah.
Priest? Yeah, I know him. He's the best. Hey, Judas Priest is the best member of the band. You know, or Jethro Tull is the best member of the band.
when we was
So who is Joe Grudge?
when we formed the band, it was. I mean, we were all just your blue collar working guys, you know, and just thought of ourselves just average Joes, and it was like just kind of played on that, like Joe Grudge. You know, I think you spurted it out, didn't you?
Yeah, I came up with the name
And
because, you know, as you know, coming up with names these days,
it's damn near impossible too.
Sure.
Rough.
Everything's
Taken, everything's been done, or it sounds like something else, or whatever.
Or
'Cause we all like
you
the
get the
same
ones that
movies.
sound too much like the band name Generator.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Is that a
yeah.
thing? Obviously, it's
They
Yeah, it's a
used to
thing.
be. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was you know, I don't know. It used to be a thing.
It becomes
Yeah.
hard to find a band name because all of us, like metalheads, we all like the same thing.
Oh, sure.
We're all into the same shit. So if you think, oh man, what if we use this from this movie? That would be awesome. Some other asshole's already done it.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like it's damn near impossible
Like,
to find it. It's
Giger's Alien, you could call it.
Right.
And somebody has already said that.
dude. So
Atreyu, you know, shit like that. Like,
real-
I mean,
real
we all grew up on the
world
same
true
stuff.
story of this is when I was a late teenager, maybe 20. Like I'm pretty good at band names and coming up with like catchy, weird song titles and just funny shit. So I came up with this band name Goat Blower, right? And we always like joked around that it was going to be like some weird grindcore band, and we were going to use like suggestive images of goats for the album covers or whatever. You know, obviously, we
And this right here is exactly what I was talking about like 15 minutes ago about these crazy bands that we come up with.
Yes,
yeah,
that's one of them.
So the story of this is like all of these guys have heard me say that a bajillion years ago, and we'd always joke about it or whatever. So like about 2 or 3 years ago, I'm yet again looking for a band name, and for whatever reason, I wasn't even toying with using that name, but like I think I was getting frustrated because everything I did come up with, it was already taken.
Sure.
You know, and in every variation taken. So like for shits and giggles, I'm on the internet and I'm like Goat Blower Band, and I don't know these guys. I've never listened to them or whatever, but there is now a band called Goat Blower. Like 15, I don't know when they formed. I've never heard them or anything. I assume they're kind of some extreme.
I'm totally
band.
gonna have to
But
look them
like
up now.
I came up
Like,
with
see if you can find
the
it.
like a 2-word complete bullshit name that I just thought was funny, and someone else came up with that name and eventually did it.
Dude, I think that's like the human condition, though. I think we're all part of the same, you know. Take, for example, guitar players who play harmony parts. You
Right.
know, the Dave Murray and Adrian Smith or Lars and James or whoever,
Right.
know, that there's a wavelength that's
Yeah.
there. And I think that's the same wavelength, where you,
Right. Yeah.
where you just have the same, that same weird disconnect in the brain circuitry that's, that
Right.
somebody else has.
Well,
And
yeah, I
that
mean,
would think to put those two words together.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing is like, but it's gotten to that point. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
sure.
Where like there's nothing new under the sun, and you're right. A lot of people eventually someone else is going to have the same idea you had or whatever.
Oh, sure.
But it's
Overload,
just like
yeah.
it's
Which really sucks when you pick a common word.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was an absolutely absurd name that you know what I mean, and
Sure.
and it's done. Like so it's rough trying to come up with a
I
band
think
name.
one of my favorite names that I've come across in the last few years is Lucifungus.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah. You
A
can just make up your
a
own.
doom band.
I was gonna say they have to be
a
like
doom
Doom.
band
Yeah, if they're
from
not
Australia.
Doom, then you need to
Okay.
be Doom.
So yeah, and totally, yeah, like that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's solid.
But yeah, average Joe's grudge because hey, we've
Yeah,
all had
so-
we've
Yeah.
all had the fucking bloody nose. We've all been in the bar
Yeah,
fight
the Joe
occasionally.
Grudge thing is like, so the mentality behind it was
We practice
like
on Mondays.
the blue collar, everyman, average Joe's, hard working blue collar. Just like we're not the name represents what we were.
Sure.
Like we're not pretentious. We're not. It's rooted in real world things. Like most of the lyrical content is about struggle and like situations that arise in real life. So that's just kind of I came up with the name and just kind of thought it sounded cool. And I knew, we all thought, of course, somebody's gonna be like, well, who's Joe Grudge?
Sure.
And it's like, well, it could be like a smoky, like, blues guy,
Yeah.
like that'd be a killer. And I'm Joe Grudge, the blues man, like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just thought it fit us. And honestly,
It's like John Brown, the boogeyman.
yeah,
It could be. Yeah.
and I thought like for, like marketing and like artwork and like stickers and that kind of stuff that like it'd be easy to do artwork for that and kind of stay with that theme,
For sure. So also, I believe by the day this releases, it is the Dark Funeral show. Is that on the 4th?
Yes. That'll be
Yeah.
on the 4th.
So the Friday the 4th is what is today, technically, because
Okay.
this is that's what day this will release. So y'all are playing Mercury Ballroom with Dark Funeral.
Yeah, that's pretty
Fucking insane. Like
pretty cool for us. Like
hey, yeah.
that came out of nowhere. We really still have no idea how that really like how they stumbled across us, I guess. Because
Yeah,
they reached out to us, Live Nation did.
Sure.
And they reached out to us and it was like, sure, I mean, it was one of those situations where you think it's a scam. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
You
we
get the
honestly
message
thought it
and
was
you're
a
like,
scam at first.
is this a scam? Is this a real deal? It ended up being legit. And,
Hey.
Well, because it was an Instagram message,
yeah.
and it's like it's just something that sounds like a little too good to be true,
Well,
and it was like
the interesting thing
okay.
about that stuff is that I've noticed with Instagram, I reach out through Instagram a lot. And it feels like it's a more quote professional platform when it comes to networking.
Mhm.
So here I'm explaining social media to the guy who is not on social media.
No, I mean, trust me, I know enough.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
It seems
Instagram
like a more
does,
professional
yeah.
platform when it comes to like for me for like setting up interviews.
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah.
a lot of people just reply with an email and it's like, okay, there we go. The other is going through like the metal archives. And because they list emails for bands on there too. And Joe Grudge is actually for some reason not on there. I don't understand why. Maybe somebody just hasn't put it up yet, but I would have thought that they would have been there.
Well, apparently we're not metal.
We're not
I don't
metal.
know if you
Really?
heard that.
Yeah. We're totally not metal.
What are you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Didn't we submit to that, and they sent back to us
I
that we
don't
wasn't
know.
metal enough?
I don't
for
know
them?
if it was that or the
What? Yeah, what was that?
encyclopedia.
Yeah, that's it. The Metal
Yeah,
Archive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I know
I'm
Ohm's
pretty
not
sure
metal.
Nate or Stone
Stone did
submitted it.
Stone did it.
Submitted us to that, and we were told that we were not metal.
Well,
So-
that's the crazy thing too, because I tried to submit SWP. Do you remember SWP? It's one of Sailor's bands from a few
Okay.
years back, and they were like they were metal meets metalcore, and they wouldn't be put on there. And I actually
weird.
I got a message back saying that they had been tried to put on there so many times that they were starting to ban accounts that put them on there, that filed them.
Huh.
And I was like, what?
We didn't try it with the second EP, the Rock and Roll Devil.
Yeah.
Like maybe they'll take us with that.
It's it's a toss up. So
Well, and that's one of those things.
I tried to submit Ohm, but they wouldn't let Ohm
What?
on there.
No, I know.
Because of them being instrumental.
What is metal?
So, well, that's where I was going. Is
Yeah.
like, so these days, metal is so freaking broad.
Yeah.
Well, it's too many subgenres, and everybody thinks their subgenre is
Well,
metal or more metal
I
than
know
the other one.
and so
And
it's
it's like-
That's you're not
obviously
wrong.
there's like some gatekeeping going on with that on that site, which whatever. But it just seems odd. So I mean, like, where's the line between like this is metal? No, that's post rock, or no, that's
yeah, post.
Well, that technically that's hardcore. Well, yeah, but if it's got somebody
It's-
screaming and
okay,
like some blast
so
beats
for
and
example,
it's heavy. Then
here is a classic. Here's a classic Louisville-based example that I think most people will understand. King Horse.
okay, yeah.
King Horse 7-inch releases or King Horse album. See what I'm getting at here? Because the
Yeah.
album is way different sounding.
Yeah, it is.
So the album kind of sounds like they would have been a different genre than the hardcore that they were before.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. I mean,
So-
and it is a gray area for sure, but I don't know.
Again,
Like I
it's
said,
one of those
apparently we're
things
not
that
metal, so
Ah.
which here's the thing. It's like
It's grudge core, man.
we're not even trying to
That's-
be
yeah.
anything.
yeah, you're
know
just
what I
what
mean?
you are.
We're
we
just what
really
we are.
we're not.
Uh,
We never picked the genre and said, "Oh, like this is what I want that style to be." I get a kick out of them playing so many different styles. I mean, if Stone starts whipping out an '80s power riff or whatever, I'm like, "Yeah, let's do some power metal." Or, I mean, I'm open to everything.
Well,
Yeah,
and I think this
Right.
day and age, you almost have to be because there's there's so much out there that tickles everybody's fancy, as it were, whether it
Right.
be a power metal or, grudge core, as you said, or, sloppy thrash, like what I do, or power doom, like what
there's so many
Icehowl does.
subgenres and just
Yeah.
there's literally every permutation of
to me, it all falls underneath metal, though. Like they're all metal to me. Like you rock, or you're hard rock metal, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it. Like, I mean, it's all there. I remember, what was it, the top 100 list of metal bands or whatever. I think it was metal bands.
Sure.
And I think it was Rolling Stone. AC/DC wasn't on it.
Yeah, because they're considered
they're
hard rock
They're hard rock, but like, I mean,
with
come
an
on now.
edge.
Yeah, but let's be real.
That's
I mean,
metal, though.
It
I
is,
mean,
especially
that
when
is
you get to
fucking
Back
metal.
in Black. Back in Black is fucking metal.
I mean, listen
Yeah,
to the vocals.
those guitar
I mean, you
licks,
go back
man,
to Bon
and the-
Scott. He was the
the
early
vocal
days,
style,
the early
like-
days of screechy, screamy vocals.
Sure.
Like, who else was doing that shit? Not a whole lot of people. Like, we talk about where did heavy vocals even come from?
Yeah.
Who really started doing the heavy vocal thing? Like,
Yeah.
is it Napalm?
Well, a lot of people
you know.
said, Celtic Frost or whatever. But there's other,
Yeah.
around the same time, there's always a bunch
Oh
of,
yeah.
a bunch of
And-
people
and-
kind of start dabbling in the same stuff.
I mean, and who did heavy vocals? Was it Lemmy? Because that was his voice.
Yeah.
right.
And then people started copying it, and then hardcore came out, and
Yeah.
they were they were starting
yelling.
they
and,
were
you know,
screaming.
they were screaming
They
and
were, they took punk
some of that
to the
some of that-
extreme.
yeah, some of the punk influence from that vocally,
Yeah.
the screamy and
Yeah,
so
which
I don't know. It's a
you
Well,
take like the Ramones who wanted to be the Beach Boys,
mhm.
and they just basically were playing fucking Beach Boys tunes like super fast because they had
Yeah.
no meter.
Yeah, and it's so everything's so gray. Like I said, I mean, like when Black Sabbath comes out, you're like, okay, that's metal. That's this is now a new music genre, right? And
Sure.
it's all these people that try it, but like it is morphed so far that how do you say, well, this is like even hardcore or punk or any of those, like, okay, Green Day still considers themselves like a punk band or a pop punk band, but
I mean, they were
once you get past the first
started, I
couple
guess. I don't
albums,
know.
Sure. They're
like,
more pop than anything.
yeah, and
Which is fine too. I mean, pop metal. I don't
Yeah, when
know,
you're-
or
I
even like
pop-
Rancid or somebody like that. I mean, like the original punk groups are kind of a totally different thing from
Oh, sure. Then
10 years later, or
Yeah.
20 years later, or 30 years later.
which I mean, are there punk bands today?
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting
I
at.
mean,
like it,
I mean, you
you can
got
only
to
be
like
so
the.
pure and stay in this lane.
I mean, they
and
are.
you're
There
gonna end
are,
up
but there's no
sounding
popular. There's
right.
no pop punk bands out today. Like there's no like Sublimes or Green Days. They're still there.
Oh, what are you
But-
talking about? MGK killed it.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
Well, what I mean,
I
is not-
never thought I'd hear that on here.
Yeah, I don't mean
Oh,
popularity.
I'll take a
though.
left
I mean,
turn
I mean,
anytime I
like,
can. So,
But no, like there's
being
no
able to
mid-range.
play-
What I'm saying is there's no mid-range pop punk bands that I
Right.
know of because Louisville actually has a pretty nice, punk scene.
yeah.
yeah, kind of always did. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they
always
always have.
has. And now they're getting into places like playing at like Portal and stuff like that. And wow, because they're starting to get bigger turnouts and bigger shows. It's
Yeah.
like it's becoming a thing again.
yeah. Well, everything cycles through.
It
Sure.
does cycle. Everything cycles back. And sometimes you have to just wait it out.
I heard a saying one time about life may be cyclical, but truth comes in schisms,
Hmm,
and which was an interesting point.
pretty good quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, big goddamn metal show, Dark Funeral. You've never played Mercury Ballroom, and then you're
Believe it or not.
playing the mag. You're playing double duty on the Friday and the Saturday with Ulm and Joe Grudge.
Yep.
Of course, stacked lineup with Rat King, Treason, Vexing Hex, Free Warren, Lavaborn, Joe Grudge, Idle Throne, Wind Rider, Ice Howl, Midnight Hellion, Ulm, and Sanhedrin. Wow. Totally
It's
fucking
a big deal.
12 bands over 2 days, fucking more metal for your fucking money.
Yeah.
And it's it's a big deal. It's bands that that I put a lot of stock into. And whether it be up and coming bands that are playing the earlier slots, or the ones that are headlining the nights that I look up to be like scene leaders. The ones who have been in the scenes and been in the trenches and know what's up and are the straight shooters of everybody. Which,
Sounds good.
dude, I totally look up to you all that way. I really do. I always have. And it's one of those things where I'm going through that kind of change of life shit. But we like to get philosophical here on the Metal Forge as well. We do a segment called Derailed,
Okay.
where we ask some random questions, and I'm going to pull out some decks of cards and ask some random questions. And because we are in video this week, like this, I'm not going to use the digital versions because we're Mr. No Social Media isn't using the digital version.
Hey man, I work with computers all day, every day, by the way. But
That is something that I always figured you for like a factory worker for some reason, because you seem so like hardcore like that. But like,
that seem hardcore, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
mean,
factory
you-
guy.
He's so soft.
is he?
He's so soft.
Aw.
Teddy bear.
You seem like you'd just be like, look, motherfucker.
I can be a dick, that's for sure.
All right. So first
Kind of that way
question.
sometimes, dude. It just depends.
What is something weird you do before bedtime?
Weird.
Weird. I don't really know that I have anything weird.
You don't have a weird thing that you do?
Like a weird ritual, I guess.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
anytime before bed.
Do you pray? No.
No,
I'll stretch out this old back.
I really don't.
You don't have to soak your feet or anything.
No, I mean,
No?
now I'm taking a cholesterol medication.
Oh,
as of,
boy.
like, the last year. So
Is that before bedtime? Is that weird?
I mean, it's.
It seems
oh,
like it
God.
would be, especially if you're not used to it.
I thought
Forget
for
to
sure
take
there'd be,
it, and you're
I
just
would
like,
have
shit.
something weird that I do, but no.
No, I'm usually just hitting the bed pretty hard.
Right on.
Because
Yeah,
I don't stop a whole lot. So
Yeah. I mean, I'm not real. I mean, my thing is like, I'll make sure I check the doors. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not weird though. Like,
No,
I mean,
that's
I
yeah,
check
that's-
all my
that's the
doors,
thing. It's
yeah,
like, you know,
when you
I
think
have a little
weird,
ritual, but I
like,
don't think any of it's weird. I think it's the same shit that
most people do.
most people
Yeah.
would do, you know.
And check all the doors. Try and get my wife off the couch. If, she's good at falling asleep down there. So
Right. Who would you like to trade places with for a day?
Ooh. That is a good one.
Stone.
real person or yeah. I would not want to trade places with Stone.
I would probably trade with whoever the CIA director is right now, or like Elon Musk or somebody like that,
Someone extravagant.
just to get a taste of like the unlimited money, sort of unlimited power, you know.
I feel like that would be depressing. I couldn't do that for one day because then you go back to your real life and you're like, oh, fuck, this sucks.
Well, you might think that, but you don't know until you've done it.
Maybe.
Right.
You might all of a sudden realize like, oh, that's not.
Now, here's the
Not as great
paradoxical
as
part of
thinking
this
so.
question is just like, okay, so do you get to be traded places with for like in their body, like
Right.
with their thoughts and their deal, or do you have your conscience?
Now, see, like, yeah, I put on a switch and have my conscience, so I know I'm in someone else's body.
Sure.
Right.
But it's just like, then why, if you had your conscience, why wouldn't you just sit there and be like, press conference, I'm giving it all away.
Yeah, so what I would
Right.
do is I'd be
See, that's a
Elon
good
for
way
a
to
day, and I would
Take
Give
it all
I would
away.
contact myself and grant myself like
There you
$50
go.
million.
See, that's a good way
and-
to do it. Like,
Make it
yeah.
an even billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's what, like $35 billion? He's not going to
Yeah.
miss one.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Hell yeah.
I think that would be a good way to do it.
That would be.
Yeah.
For sure. For
Pick one of
sure.
the random billionaires and just
If you were a
we're gonna get some
bartender,
money out.
which famous person would you like to serve?
Hmm.
Ooh, yeah, you will see like someone like Lemmy. would
Sure.
probably be.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
Lemmy or Ozzy would be fun.
Yeah, Ozzy would be entertaining.
Dude, Ozzy would be entertaining because of the fucking scene where he's pouring the orange juice
dude,
alone.
I just that scene popped up in my feed just the other day, and I was like, God, I love this because I've seen it so many times. But you stop and you still watch it
Yes.
every fucking time. He's like,
And-
so are you doing better? And he's like, nope.
Well, the fucked up thing is I can decipher Ozzy. I actually can, and I know exactly what it is.
You don't need the subtitles.
No, because I know not to listen if he's stuttering, because he's fucked up.
Oh yeah,
He
Yeah.
is completely trashed whenever he is stuttering in an interview. He's trashed.
Yep.
Whenever he's speaking clear, he's all right. He's sober.
Well, and that's what they came out because he was supposedly somewhat sober during the Osbournes, and then
Yeah.
in that thing,
See,
it came
it's
out
not
that-
revision.
that
It's
he was
revisionist
fucked
history.
up the whole time.
Yeah,
Like, he was just trash. the whole
yeah.
time,
That's in
Yeah.
that God Bless Ozzy Osbourne
Yeah.
movie,
which is a killer documentary.
which Jack did. Which I heard he was like a like weird, like worked for like the Muncie Police Department because they train officers up there.
Was a Thai boxer for a little while.
Well,
Like, he's done all
he
kinds of
works with
stuff.
them because it's like the most strict like drug uh
Enforcement.
yeah, the big wigs that come out of like and go into like drug enforcement and shit
Yeah.
go through like Muncie or some shit like that. And he was like, "Oh yeah, here's how you like decipher who's on what." And like teaches a class up there or some shit to him.
I watched him on there's some show where they have celebrities try to go through like SEAL training or like special forces
shit.
training, and he was on there.
Yeah.
And surprisingly he did pretty well. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta give it to him. Like he was tougher than I thought he would be.
Yeah,
He didn't make it. I think it's called the selection.
Didn't they
something.
do? Yeah, I
But,
think.
yeah,
you're
he
right.
I think I know
he
what you're
didn't make
talking
it, but,
about.
like, he lasted a lot longer than I thought.
Well,
he
you
would.
saw where he went and did the Thai boxing and like competed in that for a little bit.
Sure.
Right? Like,
No,
I dude, he's dabbling.
Speaking of which,
They have like a
talking TV, what is your favorite shows? Do you have a favorite show of all time?
of all time
favorite
Let's see.
show. I've got favorite movies. Favorite show of all time.
Well, give me a movie. Give me a favorite movie.
Like Gangs of New York,
That's a top one.
The
Like, I love
Departed,
that one. That's a-
Yeah, you're a mobster guy.
I can just let name off
you
things
know,
and I'm
Braveheart.
Oh. You're an Irish mobster guy. No.
I don't know, man.
Scottish.
Apocalypto.
Okay.
Is one of my
That's a
favorite
solid
movies.
one.
Just because I don't think another movie like that has been made before or since.
Sure.
Let's see.
Like legitimately, it's a rough watch. You
Yeah.
know, it's almost a horror movie, but
They're doing part two.
well, they've been saying that for years. Conan the Barbarian.
Now that one's one of my all-time faves. I love
Shout out to
Conan.
James Earl.
Yeah, rest in
James
peace,
Earl,
Tulsa
rest in
Doom.
peace.
Oh yeah.
Now, see, I'm a horror genre person, but I don't necessarily have like what's your favorite horror movie. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I just love the genre in general.
Sure.
One of my all-time favorites is The Burbs.
See,
with
that's
Tom
a
Hanks.
classic.
Yeah,
Dude, you know one of my
I've
favorite
probably
films
seen
of
that movie
his?
30 times. Like,
That's a good movie.
oh, it's
One of my favorite films of his is Bachelor Party.
oh, it's killer. Yeah.
And that's one of those ones where like they will never, it's like you'll find it on like the Roku channel, but they'll never like broadcast it on like HBO or any of that
No.
shit ever again or any of that.
I did make it through the first 5 Friday the 13th
On Friday.
On Friday.
In
So-
a row.
Yeah,
Damn.
in a row.
Wow.
I watched them all.
Well, we know he didn't do shit that
I
day.
did.
kidding.
It was.
That's
it was
like 10 hours or
no.
It was
That's
a,
like
it was a
9
take it
hours
easy
of
day,
hack and slash.
and like we had decided not to do anything.
my
that day,
favorite scene
so-
in any film is when Corey Feldman comes up in 4, where he shaves his head and he hacks his hair off with a razor,
Yeah.
and he's screaming at Jason. Hey, Jason,
Yeah,
Jason, hi."
but that's a good one though. Like that
Oh, it really is.
That one's pretty awesome. I think 3 and 4 might be
Probably the best.
up
Okay.
there for me. 5 is definitely a Scooby Doo movie.
So
I mean,
3.
It has the big reveal at the end. It wasn't even Jason Voorhees and all that stuff. That's
Right.
5. You know, I was like, oh, it's Scooby Doo. Like,
Yeah.
I'm watching, and which anybody that's into horror films, especially my age, don't realize that our influence and what really brought us into horror, your first taste of horror, is Scooby Doo.
yeah,
Now you think about it, it really is Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Scooby Doo was horror. I
or
mean,
probably Ghostbusters even.
well, that's going into movies. I'm thinking
Sure,
of
or
cartoons. Cartoons that you're
Yeah,
watching.
I can see that
As a
Yeah.
5-year-old, I'm watching Scooby
because there's monsters
and there's
yeah.
monsters and all this stuff. It's like that's horror. It's just kiddie horror.
Yeah,
I mean, don't take that the wrong way. This is terrible.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
down.
Blot that out.
Yeah.
Let's,
Yeah.
take that out of the interview.
If you had to lose one of your 5 senses, well, fuck, we never even got even. You'd said some stuff, but Fridays, I guess, is what movie you were going with or show.
Oh, I'm.
We
not
got off
necessarily-
on a tangent there.
I was just on a tangent. Period. Like I said, the horror.
That's
genre
what this
is where I
show's
go.
all about.
Some
This is
of-
why it's called Derailed.
Like I love the movie The Descent. Like that one is just
It's a solid.
it's such a good movie to me. Where they go into the cave.
Oh,
the
sure.
group of girls and it just
Phantasm.
yeah. There's
for me.
Um,
I love that.
That one, that's a classic.
High Tension.
I like the whole
love
series,
the movie High
actually.
Tension.
Yeah.
I'm kind of an apologist for the later ones, but it's kind of how it is.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Definitely.
it's been a while.
If I were to go with a show, an actual show, that would probably be the one that I could go to anytime. Would probably
Definitely
be
not
MASH.
The Walking Dead.
MASH.
MASH.
Okay.
I could if it's on TV,
Yeah.
I could watch it.
You know, one of the big Ulm intro samples is like a speech from MASH from the General, and it's like slowed down and chopped up and fucked up a bunch.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's like the very first Ulm album. And
Interesting.
I think it's on
Is
the
that the one where
first track.
they were all dead, or
Yeah, we were so alive.
we were
back
so
then.
alive back then.
That's from MASH.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's
Hell yeah.
it's so screwed with that.
That you don't really get it. Do you have a favorite thing you like to do for like a dude's night out or anything?
Fishing, probably.
Fishing,
I mean,
yeah.
I know it's not a night out or whatever.
It
but-
can be if it's catfishing.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Hell yeah.
Me and him definitely like to fish a lot.
Which you still down for Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It
Hell yeah.
clears out the head, man. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
get
getting
out
out
there
in
and
nature.
just kind of like
We'll
let
get
all
out
the
and throw
bullshit out.
throw the boats on the water, kayaks, and go down Blue River
Yeah,
or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Go to shows, obviously.
Sure.
Or movie night are good. Or just most of the time just hanging
When
out.
you
Yeah.
do movie night, are you trying to watch stuff new, or are you going back and watching like Braveheart? Or does it-
usually new stuff.
Sure.
But
Well, streaming has ruined us on rewatching movies, if you think
Yeah.
about it, because you're constantly looking for something new now. To
Right.
where, I saw your DVD collection.
Sure.
There was a time that's what you was going to watch, and you'll rewatch some of those movies
yeah.
many times.
Now I rewatch them on streaming.
And
Yeah.
but like for me, I'm constantly looking for something new, and I'll come around and be like, I've watched that. Even if it's a good movie, it's like I've watched it. I'm always looking for something new, and I'm going through 15 different apps on my Roku TV.
Yeah, and by the
Yeah.
time you pick something, you could have been halfway through.
I could have been halfway through a
Yeah.
good movie that I've seen, and I know I like.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
I'm
you
still
could have
looking for
totally
something like
watched Tango and
But-
Cash.
Yeah, but I've watched trash.
Yeah, I find
But you-
myself like
But you looked at the fucking screen for 42 minutes.
yeah, I find myself like going back to old movies like a little more often now to where
Mhm.
I'm like, fuck it. I know this is a good movie. I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah, I try
Sure.
to consciously
Like-
do that now.
Well, I was recently gifted a Twilight Zone box set.
Nice.
So I'm totally going to do that and watch the Twilight Zone. So we'll pause here for just a second.
All right.
So I do have a couple more questions. First off, last meal. Go lavish. Go the full nines. Go do your appetizer, your soup, your main course, and your dessert.
So appetizer.
Mm.
I might have to go with like a nice chicken salad for
Nice.
the appetizer.
Well, the salad could be part of the meal, right?
Well,
I mean, I guess if it
leading
were
off
like
with that.
I want some really good cheese boaters. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Some fried cheese balls, some big ones.
oh
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
like Irish Rover does a good cheese boater.
yeah.
And you put that Coleman mustard on it, and those things are fire.
Dude, they do a great Scotch egg.
Yes, they do.
I love
It's
that.
a good Scotch egg.
Ah,
But
Main course that's tough. I might have to go with I might just have to go with like a very well cooked sirloin.
sure.
Like just
a properly aged, meat. We're talking like Angus, beautifully
Yeah.
just perfect.
Are you like into like the
steak,
dry
you know what I mean?
aged
Like,
beef
yeah, like,
and stuff
yeah.
like
if
it's like 39 days dry
right, like
aged.
if that steak is aged, and that's why you pay so much for them when you go to Brooklyn and the Butcher or Ruth Chris and all that stuff, because they're dry aged and you're like, why doesn't my steak taste like this that I just bought at the store? Because those ain't aged. So you get your beautifully aged steak and big old fat loaded baked potato, maybe, and this is going classic here. I mean, but I mean that's the meal. That's the death row meal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want a steak and potato before you go out.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think the death row meal is different because they're not really going to give you like the dry aged beef with
What they give Dahmer, you think he got?
veal scallopini,
Actually, he was killed in prison. He didn't even get his last meal.
Oh, he got his last meal, all right.
Yeah.
He got the one he needed to get.
No shit, man.
But
No shit.
death row meal, I think it's more like, a cheeseburger or
Yeah.
a
You get to go to
lasagna.
In-N-Out.
It's not going to be the best lasagna
Well, no, it's not
from
gonna be the
some
best,
Italian, 5-star chef. It's going to
See,
be
and that's tough though, because I mean, what if that day just so happens I'm not in the mood for a steak and I did want lasagna? You know what I mean? And I fucked it up.
See, but that's the thing, dude.
Because there are
Because
days where
there
I
are-
would take a lasagna over a steak meal, or
Sure.
I would
It
take,
depends on
Dude,
what-
like
I would take
fucking
sushi
steak
or-
and eggs.
a big old
sometimes breakfast meals.
Yes,
man.
Yeah.
Just,
breakfast
if
in
you're
general.
in the mood,
Dude,
the best
I
thing
totally
like that
had
meal, a breakfast
a
bar,
banquet.
Yeah, see, now I'm thinking just
You
steak and eggs with some
Yeah.
pancakes and
Yeah.
bacon.
The
and,
Waffle House,
the
the
Waffle House.
the triple
some hash
platter.
browns. I mean,
That's what
depending
I was
on your
telling him
mood, that
earlier,
could
like
be it.
because we're neighbors and like my first job.
Yeah,
was
that's
the
the only
Waffle
reason I
House
brought
over
it
here.
up. Yeah, it's because it's
Yeah.
right there.
I
The
was trained by Waffle House. Look out, I can throw hands.
fuck yeah, and yes, and why the fuck not? Because so for me, and this is obviously it's on the day of. It's like the day that I'm feeling it. Like to me right now, a nice fucking breakfast would be like the pinnacle thing, the breakfast for dinner kind of deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fucking a
like,
nice fucking sausage gravy, biscuits and gravy
gotta
with
have biscuits and gravy.
fucking sausage and or bacon on the side with fucking
both.
some-
You might as well have both.
might as well have both, yeah, with fucking sunny side up eggs. Fucking boom.
Yeah.
With
I mean,
with red pepper.
Yeah.
not going to be mad about any of that.
No.
And a little hot sauce for the eggs.
Yeah.
See,
and
I love pork chop and eggs. Like,
yeah, and as we'll show it off here on camera, the Vlad's Blood Orange
Oh yeah.
hot
Our
sauce.
friends at Peril.
Our friends at Peril who
Brought to
also
you by
have
Peril hot sauce.
Well,
that's
we
right,
made,
who also have a Joe Grudge sauce.
yeah, we also did a song for them
we did.
Hell yeah.
We did do a
ish type
jingle-ish
song.
song for them
Yeah.
that is going to be used on a commercial at some point.
At
Hell
some
yeah.
point. Yeah, like eventually I guess we'll be able to release it. We wanted to release it with the hot sauce when we got it and have just like a QR code that you scan it and boom, it plays the song,
Sure.
Uh,
That is one thing that they are amazing with. On the big bottles, they do put the QR codes on there
Yeah.
to where it takes you to the event pages and the ticket links and all of that
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Super cool stuff.
yeah.
So before we go,
Hot for your mouth. That's the name of the song.
what is it?
Hot for your mouth.
Hot for your mouth.
Mhm.
Fuck yeah. As always, links are listed below, so please give likes, shares, and follows. Do all the things and all the stuff. Go see them tonight at Mercury Ballroom for Dark Funeral and next week at the Big Goddamn Metal Show. Fuck, do you all have any shout outs you want to give today?
We also have the benefit.
Oh,
Oh yes.
Let's talk.
What's the date on that?
The 5th.
The 5th.
October 5th.
Tomorrow.
So yeah, we're
By the time this airs tomorrow. So the
Benefit
Timmy
for our
Flaherty
boy Tim.
yeah,
benefit.
Tim Flaherty. I don't have all the info on that. Where's that at?
I'll post
'Cause you
a
guys
I'll
are
post a
just at the
page.
Fox
Yeah, I'll post
Den.
yeah, it's at the
And,
Fox Den. It's a benefit show. Timmy from Hot Action Cop for the people outside of the E flat, for the
yeah.
people outside of the scene that would probably know him from Hot Action Cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Formerly in Anicathera with me.
Formerly
Yes.
in Greyflower with
Formerly
me.
in Greyflower with both of
Yeah,
us.
like
underwater.
Underwater. Yeah.
it's just he's been around in the scene forever, and that dude you couldn't ask for
Super
a
sweet,
cool
nice
person to hang out with. And getting to write with him was always it's just fun. That's one of those guys that's like you can name off anything and it'll just start playing it, you know.
For
And
sure.
like he's
Yeah,
just
talented
so
guy.
good on the guitar.
Oh, we didn't even, he was also in the infamous Chigger band.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, he did that too. Yeah,
He
Yes.
was in that too.
So for sure.
The
So yeah,
infamous
Dark
Sugar.
Funeral, Mercury Ballroom. We're
Forward.
stoked to have the opportunity to play with a legendary black metal band.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's going into winter time, and I'm a seasonal person, and so I do tend to listen to.
you are very seasonal.
I am. Black metal. That's what kind of goes on during the winter. So
Hell yeah.
it's like during the summer, it just doesn't feel right. Like
Right.
I don't listen to real dark metal at all in the summertime. It's like I need to be a little bit more cheery. So I mostly listen to Miley Cyrus.
Mm.
I could see that.
And then yeah. Of course, we're going into October, so that's typo weather, right?
Sure.
That's the only thing you listen
Yeah.
to.
Typo.
Dark Funeral, Typo.
Dark Funeral.
Immortal.
Yeah.
Uh,
Not the B word. Nobody said the B word. Burzum.
Oh,
I was like Behemoth.
No, Behemoth. I think we could still listen to.
yeah, that fit in there. Demu.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
Demu gets played
Yeah.
during
For sure.
Actually, I play them more on YouTube than I do anything because the big live performance with the orchestra, they have like the whole show, and I'll
Amazing.
turn that on and just let it play, and I'm like, man, it's so good.
Fuck yeah.
That shit's solid.
Hell yeah. So my final question of the day is, what activities do you do that make you absolutely lose track of time?
Fishing.
Honestly,
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
honestly, writing and playing music. Like
Sure.
Yeah.
last night, I had a Ohm rehearsal, and we're working on a new song, and like I don't know how, but all of a sudden it's 10:30. You know, got there at 7, and it's like, man, it just seemed like it.
That's
Mm,
when
just
the
went
writing
so fast.
Yeah, when
you
the
know?
writing's going good, that's how it feels. Like
Yeah.
when it's coming out naturally and everything's flowing.
And then,
hanging out with friends
You know,
and things,
sure.
you know, it just 4 hours will just.
and when it's not going well, that's when that 2 hours or 4 hours that you're there are the
That's
longest
true.
fucking time of
Yes,
your
that is
life.
like-
True.
And you want to just sit there and be like, fuck this, I want to go home.
Yeah, we're all doodling. Nobody has any ideas. And, I mean, anybody that's been in a band, you know how it goes. Like, you have
Yeah.
really good days, and then you have some days where you're like, well, that was pointless. Well, good seeing you guys.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's those days where you just kind of sit around and fucking just jam out
Yeah.
and
talk
you know, just
and those days are needed too. you
Yeah.
know?
I do like that there are times
That's-
where it's,
Sometimes we just
Yeah,
hang out and
that's
we don't
it.
even play. And,
yeah,
and
you
it's-
you all get ready to play,
yeah,
and
but-
then you just start talking, and
yeah.
then
And usually,
it's part of the therapy.
yeah,
you know?
usually one or two people, like it's just like somebody needed that, you know. So
Yeah.
sure.
I've had
and
those.
you know, it's okay sometimes.
No, I totally get that, and it is needed. That's one of my favorite things about Ice Howl practices is because we only practice like once a month.
Mm.
And when we all get together, it's like we get together for like 6 hours on a Saturday,
Oh, nice.
and we'll get together. We might warm up and run through some things. We'll hang out, and then we'll go back and run through the rest of the stuff what we need to do, and then we'll hang out, and then we might do it a third time. And it's cool because it's the dynamic, and when you have a really awesome dynamic like that,
Yeah,
it's fun.
that's a big component is the chemistry and
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
the thing.
Well,
So-
so like with us, like we talked about, we all have been in bands together for
Upwards of 30 years.
20 to 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've jammed with Nate. Nate's popped in as a bass player in other bands that I was in. He was the last bass player for Greyflower.
He was.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I met him as a bass player because me and Stone were doing Shotgun Enema at the time with Jay Shepard.
Yeah. Another Indiana
Eulogy.
guy.
Yeah. From
Yeah,
Eulogy because me and Jay Shepard, my first two bands was with him.
Okay.
My very first band. But yeah, Stone's like, well, I got a dude that play bass, and Nate was in town and stuff, and they were hanging out, so he came out and started playing bass with us for a little bit, and that's how I got to know Nate. I didn't I didn't know he played guitar. He played bass as far as I was concerned. You know what I mean? Like, which he was really good on it. And that's solid. I couldn't keep him around long enough though.
Sure.
Like, Nate was real squirrely back then. He would join a band and he was like, all right, I'm gonna go and do this now and do that now. Like,
Yep.
he was hard to hold down.
He still is.
Yeah,
He still is. I mean,
a little easier these days.
Yeah. We love you, Nate.
We all know him, so like that guy. And we got
check out the Nasty Nate episode in the archives. Links below. So on our way out today from Joe Grudge, what do you all want to play? Song wise.
Rock and Roll Devil.
Rock and Roll Devil.
Hell yeah. You hear them. Here it is, Rock and Roll Devil. Fuck yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
It was fun.
Good hanging out, man.
Fuck yeah. For 45 years and keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They are open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out. Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com, and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing. Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza DoNisi. Pizza DoNisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken, fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the Ultimate Underground Metal Tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza DoNisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza DoNisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out. In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shadebeast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shadebeast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shadebeast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.